Hey everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
me, Banshee. Welcome to this special unboxing of the Pride Tarot.
The Pride Tarot. And we are proud to do this unboxing. Don't mind saying that.
On Pride
Month. Here's a better picture of the box. And this is a unique deck. It's a collaborative deck because, as one can imagine, many people who contribute to tarot are, in fact, in the LB, GLT, etc. spectrum or range.
Right, so this is really an awesome deck. I think we're going to take, it's very collaborative in that many artists have had their hands in it.
I was surprised because some of the artists who have done some of the other decks we use, they're like, oh, that's that artist.
Right.
That is so cool.
Right. So
let's show them what you get for your box.
Sure. I do want to say here, it does say Pride Tarot is on the box itself, is an incredibly diverse and unique deck that celebrates the LGBTQ plus community. The inspiring deck features 45 artists from around the globe whose poignant and powerful stories highlight some aspects of the LGBTQ experience. In the spirit of love and support, US Games Inc. is proudly donating to an LGBTQ organization, and they're said to visit their site for more details. That's really awesome. Let's take a look, shall we?
All right. So, of course, you do get this beautiful box.
It's just pretty. A tuck box or whatever you call it.
It's the regular box. It's not a
regular
special box. There's a nice booklet, the guidebook, and the guidebook also has some extra features like a nice section on the artists themselves, but when you read under the cards, it'll say something about that artist's contribution to that card.
The drawing in the books are in black and white. There are drawings for each card. And yes, the illustrators are listed on each of the cards, and some of them speak about why they created the card the way they did, and others have more typical upright reversed interpretations of the cards, sometimes written by someone else.
And like most tarot books, there may be suggestions for reading, either based on the idea behind the cards, and there's one in here called the Rainbow Spread. I'm not sure if there were some others.
I see the Rainbow Spread, which is nice, and you know, there's an associated message or thing for each color of the rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, or violet.
Which corresponds.
That's an extra card, yes.
So this is the guide to the sense of how that Rainbow Spread reading works.
Yes. Now, there are a couple of other spreads in here that perhaps we should mention. Just to let you all know, there are unique spreads. There is something called the Parade Spread, which I think is just the single card. Well, no, actually, I take that back. It is, 3, 4, 5, 6 card spread. And then there is the Rainbow Spread. So there are 2 spreads in this book that are unique.
All right, and let's see.
I guess I should say one more thing. The booklet is actually 190 pages, so it is substantial.
Now, the Pride Tarot is actually not real new. Its copyright date is 2019. I myself had not heard of it before, but I know that there are a number of other decks about. Did you want to read something?
It says 2020 on here.
Oh, okay. Somewhere else in there I read, I think US Games began the process in 29. I think I read that in the foreword somewhere there too.
That could be.
Because it was the particular anniversary of Stonewall, which of course is a significant historical moment in Pride history. So as I mentioned, here's the back of the deck. This is really nice. It says, "Love is love." And of course, if you reverse it, it says the same thing somehow. So that's really kind of cool that they managed to do that there. I'm going to flip to the one big camera so we can just kind of get a better image there. And of course, this is the intro card, the collaborative deck, just basically, you know, those extra filler cards. This is the card they give for the Rainbow Spread reading, just sort of a quick guide to what the colors mean.
I'm going to hand them to you so I can get a good look at the
Yeah, and I
cards
think you
as I
should
go.
make your opening remarks, and then I'll add whatever to that if you
Okay,
wish.
yeah, you're right. So we have the Fool upright, and also, by the way, I guess I should mention that the illustrator is listed on every card as well.
I thought you did mention it earlier. But
I
that's
mentioned
a good
that
reminder.
they were in the booklet.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
so
there
this is
is
the Fool, illustrated by Sam Hahn.
Huh. The Magician is a very interesting card.
Illustrated by Felix de Leon. And I apologize if I'm mangling any of the names. I do like that. That's very nice.
I love this High Priestess card. It's really beautiful and very evocative.
Illustrated by Polly Fay. Polly Fay, I kind of like that. And that's the High Priestess.
The Empress is illustrated by Holly Sierra and clearly just shows the bounty and, you know, that the Empress is the creatrix.
And that's the Empress by Holly Sierra.
Wow, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. O. The Emperor has boobs, which is cool if so.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of looks that way.
It does, you know, certainly a breastplate.
I like the black and white, you know, and that is the thing. When you get a highly collaborative deck like this, you're going to get all kinds of style, you know, not just in the sketching itself, but also in the colors or black and white, you know, the things they use, the backgrounds, everything is going to be unique.
And this one's done by Carolyn Haplin.
The Messenger is the Hierophant in this deck.
And that was Christy C. Rode. Lots of detail there in the background. Verbiage on the posters.
And the Lovers looks to be a March for Justice, maybe.
Illustrated by Robin Scott. The Lovers.
The Chariot, and there are flamingos on there, I think. Illustrated by Callie French. And a female, well, you know, I'm not going to assign sexuality because without looking at the cards themselves, I'm not going to judge.
I was trying to decide what the flamingos were here.
Well, I'm not sure, but I note they are there.
I don't see them.
Oh, you don't? What are those birds? Right?
Well, they look like an animal with a tail, like a
There's
cat.
the bird's neck going that way.
Oh, let's not. No, that's a tail, dear.
Oh, really?
It's the tail of the animal.
Oh my gosh! He's right. It looks like a flamingo to me.
No, it doesn't.
I
But nice
think it
try.
would even enhance the cards.
Pink flamingo. Well, maybe we'll have to design a pink
dear.
flamingo's tarot deck.
That's the thing about unboxing, seeing it for the first time.
Calling my other coven cluster cluck.
Strength. Strength is illustrated by Stanley Morrison, and it's really beautiful. It's very beautiful. It's interesting they add a water element to this, you know, in a way.
Very nice. I will have to ponder that one.
The Hermit is beautifully abstract here, I feel. Illustrated by Christine Zillick. Take a look at that.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
It's beautiful.
I love it.
The Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes you're the life of the party, and well... Very cool. Rather stark. Justice. I didn't read the name. You can grab that one.
Justice is by Catherine Wells Stein rather, and it has a very Renaissancean quality to it. It looks like something from that era, perhaps, or in emulation of that era. I like it.
So I'm looking at The Hanged Man by Joe Lee, and I'm wondering, Mr. O, what do you think that is in the other hand? Is it an egg or too big for an egg, I thought?
Well, it looks like a vegetable of some sort. Maybe it's a white pear, but I don't know what white pears are.
Because the apple brings me back to, almost biblical Adam and Eve.
You know what? It's probably an egg, and maybe the shadow on the arm suggests that there's something, a stem from it. But I'm wondering if it's an egg.
Mm-hmm.
This one is illustrated by Joe Lee, and of course, I love it.
Death by Matt Hughes, illustration. I like it, carrying the pride flag.
Matt Hughes. And it's kind of interesting because, of course, all fall before death. That's the idea.
Temperance is interesting. What would be your take on Temperance? Who's it by again? I'm sorry.
Ryan Edward. I'm not sure if there's anything exactly different there. The overall idea of embracing mixed qualities or things that have different measures is kind of there.
Okay.
I like it. I mean, I think it sort of has a nice watercolory kind of look to it.
The Devil is illustrated by Irene Lorenzi, and very, very interesting take on the devil. And can I see that one again when you're done with it? Looks to me, well, like they're very, very attached to him, It's almost as if they're a part of him.
It could be that. Certainly, there's a sense of dominion there, and they're blindfolded. Of course, that could suggest bondage, which, of course, in anything sexual, not necessarily even, gay sexuality, bondage may play a role with games, etc.
The Tower. The Tower is illustrated by Hat, H-A-T, Black. And I love the fact the crown is falling off the tower on that one. How the mighty fall. Just reminds me of that analogy. That even the mighty fall.
I like the fact that a number of the cards seem to draw from maybe more Renaissancean or previous eras of art.
Star is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
it's a merman or merperson reaching for the light.
Illustrated by Hannah Fafana. Very nice.
The Moon is illustrated by Emily Balavet.
I would note that some of these cards are not explicitly looking like there's a rainbow spectrum component to them. They're just incredibly appreciative art, and of course that leaves it for you, the viewer, to see what you want there, perhaps.
The Sun is illustrated by Isabel Hayes and is also the
box cover.
Image on the box cover, correct? It's
Isabel
beautiful.
Hayes. And
beautiful representation of the sun.
I love this. I think this is a great sun card.
Because let's face it, without the sun, you would not have a rainbow.
You would not have a rainbow.
And we have the Judgment card by Shira Silver. Representing that transcendent message of judgment.
It's very nice.
And then we have The World by Christy C. Rode.
And I've
Christy
seen
C. Rode is the illustrator of the Next World Tarot, which is one that I have, the big cards, Mr. O.
I've seen this image before. Somebody on my Instagram has played this before, and I remember saying, "Oh, I love this card. I know I've seen it before." Now I realize where I have seen it before. I love it, and that was Christy C.
Rode.
Rhodes.
She did the Next World Tarot.
Right.
Okay.
So on to the minor arcana.
We're starting with the swords. The Ace of Swords is illustrated by Edmund Zabrowski. Interesting. Is that a high heel shoe there in the
Yes, it is.
in the crown? Awesome. Love it. The Two of Swords by Patrick Valenza.
And of course, he's the artist of Deviant Moon, right?
Ah, and you
Does
can
it look
sort
like the
of see
Deviant Moon
that.
style there?
It sure does. It does look it.
And minor shout out, but I use the Deviant Moon in my Instagram reading, Your Weird Week.
The Three of Swords, illustrated by Sabina Espinet. And yeah, that's beautiful. I like the flowers around it. It's a very interesting take. You know, there's definitely the blood dripping and all, but it seems brighter in some way than some Three of Swords. And of course, it's got a rainbow border around it.
Ah, yes, very nice.
Just Chillin' in the Four of Swords, illustrated by Moomy Swan.
I like it.
The Five of Swords is illustrated by Davian Halil Faries, F-A-R-R-I-E-S. There's definitely the...
I like the artwork here. It sort of recalls something that maybe is a little bit manga or anime or comic book style, you know. And of course, the Five of Swords, who would really want to be assigned that for a Pride deck, because it almost always has a meaning that's not so desirable. But maybe this is trying to alter that tune, saying, you know, wield the sword, smite those who would make your life really bad.
The Six of Swords is illustrated again by Hat Black, or is it? Yeah, it's Hat Black. I don't think that's an H, right? I was trying to figure that out with the last name. We had them come up before.
I think it's Hat Black. And you know, the style almost reminds me of my Secrets Tarot. I'm going to have to check that out. This one reminds me of the Secrets Tarot style a little bit, but maybe not exactly. It's reminiscent maybe in terms of coloring or something.
You know, I think it is B-L-A-C-A. Oh, wait. It's interesting, but here you can see it is black. So it looks like it's an H here, but it's kind of different. All right, I'm going to go with black. The Seven of Swords is illustrated by Callie French, who I think illustrated another one. This is nice. This is interesting, kind of a sailor motif.
Hey, Thaler. Seven of Swords, Callie French. And I kind of like it. You know, when you think about the whole era of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, it kind of resonates to that maybe a little bit, you know.
And then we have the Eight of Swords illustrated by Liz Houston. And I really like this one. It's like an angel, you know, trapped in the swords here. One wonders, is that a fallen angel? I don't know, but it just looks as though it's an angel. I just like that. It's like
something
you know,
sort of ethereal in a way.
Yeah. Well, it's in a sense,
a surrender too.
Maybe. The Nine of Swords, illustrated by Christine Zillick again. This is very beautiful. I like this artwork. It's is that the one who did the Hermit?
Yeah, they're sort of I don't think I want to call it exactly abstract. Maybe it's similar to Impressionism in a way. I am not an artist, humanitarian
No,
critique.
we can't. Yeah, yeah.
We know what we like. That's
We
about
know
it.
what we like. The Ten of Swords is illustrated by Irene Lorenzi, who's come up before. This is really an odd take on this card.
Well, it may be saying that what is defeated is what opposes you having your sense of your identity. Like maybe these are the bad things that try to stop you from having pride.
Maybe that is what's there.
And
I
they're
don't know.
sad, but hopefully, they find their way out of that, because that's the ultimate message.
A number of ways you could look at that one. I also wonder too if this isn't this person taking in all of this that has happened to them. It's an interesting card, definitely.
Well, now you make me want to look it up. Depicts sadness and loneliness. Person is portrayed here is an androgynous being without gender who lives in inner conflict because of their identity. So that is similar to what I said.
It's all the inner demons, maybe.
That's what I sort of felt.
That's awesome.
The inner demons. Yeah, I didn't say it the right way, but that's what I was feeling.
The Page of Swords, illustrated by Sienna Summers. Page of Swords. Should probably get rolling here. Sorry, I'm dragging. I'm just loving this deck. The Knight of Swords, illustrated by Carolyn Haplin.
I think it's okay to spend some time with this one. It is Pride Month, and this is really an important deck. Knight of Swords.
Well, the Queen of Swords looks like she means business, illustrated by Marco Proietti. And the King of Swords looks very traditional and stoic, illustrated by Sabina Espinet. And now we enter the Suit of Wands. The Ace of Wands, illustrated by Karen Vogel. And it's got the typical, it's a salamander, right?
Or it's a gecko lizard of some sort.
Lizard of some sort. The Two of Wands is illustrated by Emily Balavet. There's a lot of, what is that, paisley?
Yeah, that could be a kind of a considered paisley
pattern. The Three of Wands, illustrated by Jeremy Hush. The Four of Wands looks like a marriage, illustrated by Noah Ihida.
And of course, a lot of times the card is interpreted that way. It is the harvest home. It is about a celebration, a sense of accomplishment. And it's kind of interesting because there's so much androgyny or gender fluidity in this card, but it is clearly about love.
Well, the Five of Wands looks to really emphasize either like the conflict, the clashing of ideas or ideology.
Silence is death, it says on one of the lower images there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so, some of us do feel that either way, the Five of Wands is about a lot of competition and or fighting of some sort.
The Six of Wands is by Mumi Swan. Did other cards in here.
Pretty. Again, there's sort of a cartoonish quality about it, which I like.
The Seven of Wands is illustrated by Devin Halil Faris, who I've mentioned before, and definitely looks like trying to hold their position.
I look at this and I sort of say this is the modern Joan of Arc,
Awesome. Nice.
Whether or not Joan of Arc was gay or on the spectrum at all, it was the image that came to mind, a modern Joan of Arc.
The Eight of Wands is illustrated by Gabby Angus West.
Looks like Frida, eh? doesn't it?
Yeah, I do have to say a little bit here. I really like the fact that there are all these letters because, to me, sometimes I downplay it. We think of all the energy and the movement of the Eight of Wands.
Frida Kahlo, it says so.
Good, but it's also about communication, and I think those letters there emphasize that.
Inspired by the spirit of Frida Kahlo.
Nice. The Nine of Wands is illustrated by NTZE to Z.
Z.
And wow, looks like taking a beating. Yeah, for the cause. Ready for more.
It's a zombie picture. No, it's a zombie fighter picture.
Mr. O.
Okay.
And the Ten of Wands is kind of an interesting card by Dr. Frankie Dolan.
I remember looking that one up because I wanted to see it.
What did they say about
suggest that it was
Sure.
an androgynous face of sorts.
Okay. So there must be burdens associated with that. I'm just trying to
Go ahead and look it up. I'll hold it here for a
my
moment.
head around the Ten of Wands. Where are the wands? At the beginning here?
Nope, midway.
Oh, midway?
Come on, you could find it.
All right, probably after yes here. Okay, hold on. 8, 10. Shows a man who has lived a life of banishment and pain. People scorned him for being blessed with a balance of male, female, young, and old qualities. Dreaming, hoping, and searching. So he suffered. He's suffered in his journey.
He suffered
and
for being what he was, being
Right.
different.
Right, I like that. That does fit absolutely with the Ten of Wands. The Page of Wands is illustrated by Philippe Dion.
I like that. It's simple. There's so much you could read into it on your own, but it probably would be very individualistic.
I do like this kind of patchwork in a way card here, the Knight of Wands, illustrated by Anita Meverarity. I think
The quality reminds me a little bit of the old Aquarian tarot, but maybe more stylistic in a way. I like that. And of course, we do see a number of decks these days where the male or obvious male characters are cast as female characters, female kings, female knights.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that.
Steve Hutton is the illustrator of the Queen of Wands, which to me takes on a little bit of an animalistic, like there's some...
Shamanistic, animalistic,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Nice card. Yep.
And the King of Wands is illustrated by Marco Proieto. I like that.
Yes, it's a James Dean kind of look.
Yes,
of course,
yes.
James Dean was felt to be an androgynous, possibly closeted gay person of the 50s.
The Ace of Cups, illustrated by Polly Fay. It does have a fayish quality to it, I would say.
I like it. It also reminds me of the style from Tarot of the Secret Forest, which I have not used on the live stream a whole lot. I've talked about it once or twice, though.
Noah Aheda has done the Two of Cups. Beautiful.
Very nice.
The Three of Cups is illustrated by Holly Sierra. Oh, look at that. That's really gorgeous.
It's cuddly.
It's oh, I think this one's even better. No, it's got milk in it. Looks like
it does
milk.
a body good.
Does a body good. As these guys might say, the Four of Cups, illustrated by Robin Scott.
Well, yeah.
I like it. And the Five of Cups has that kind of he's got a little tear in his eyes, remorseful quality
This
here.
is our artist.
Illustrated by Stephen Bright, the Spirit Within Tarot
which
illustrator.
is used exclusively
On
on
my
Banshee's
show.
Material Matters on Sundays at 10 a.m. And it's
by the way,
beautiful
Stephen
card.
Bright has also created the Rainbow Kipper. So you might want to check that divination tool out as well.
Very
Perhaps
cool.
I will do an unboxing of that sometime in the future. The Six of Cups is illustrated by Leonard Jim Marciso. Marciso? Sorry.
Narciso.
That's kind of a nice take on that.
I like it because it sort of represents the idea of maybe a happy childhood where these distinctions were just not so frightening or used to frighten people. Just a nice older guy giving somebody a little bit of sherbet.
Now, the Seven of Cups is an illustrator that I truly admire, and I have a number of her illustrated decks. It's Lisa Hunt. So Lisa Hunt has done this one, and what I really like about it is that each color of the rainbow is one of the 7 cups, or pouring out of or into the 7 cups, and I really like that. I mean, it's like choose your color.
And
what color of the rainbow are you?
And of course, Lisa Hunt is also the artist of the Ghost Tarot you have, not the Ghost Tarot I have, which we use though, and is a very nice Ghost Tarot.
It's Spirit and Ghost Tarot. Yes.
Spirit and Ghost Tarot. Thank you for that.
The Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is illustrated by Needman. I think Needman did the Malefic Lenormand. Lenormand Malefique.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure
that art looks similar.
Eight of Cups.
That
Beautiful.
art looks similar. I think you are on to something. And that, of course, is a nice Lenormand. I like that
very
Lenormand.
gothy in its way,
great for
or
Halloween.
darker. I like it. Using it during the dark part of the year. The Nine of Cups is illustrated by NC again.
With a kind of Medusa or something there. Medusa from the Inhumans, not from Greek and Roman lore.
And the Ten of Cups showing family. Beautiful. The rainbow looks to be a rainbow of balloons, possibly. I'm not sure. It's illustrated by Robin Scott.
We are family.
This is adorable. This next card. The Page of Cups is getting squirted in the face by the fish in the cup. Illustrated by Teresa Hutch. Isn't that cute? And it's a cat, right? It's a cat. I think it's adorable.
That's very cute.
The Knight of Cups again is illustrated by Stephen Bright, Spirit Within Tarot. Very nice job on that as well.
Probably, once again, another self-portrait.
Yeah, it looks to me like a possible self-portrait, definitely.
And we are very thankful to use the Spirit Within Tarot.
The Queen of Cups is illustrated by Christy C. Rode again, the person who did my Next World Tarot.
Yes.
Love the King of Cups. The King of Cups. Illustrated by Katrin Wells Stein. Just look at the ship, you know, and just look at his head kind of fuses into the ocean and the water there. I just think that's really amazing. I love that. The ship is actually like his crown, which makes it even more cool. I think that's neat. The Ace of Pentacles is illustrated by Edmund Zabrowski again. Sort of a nice Ace of Pentacles, typical. Got to have a boa in here somewhere. Boa, whatever you call them. Boa in here somewhere. So why not on the Two of Pentacles? And it's illustrated by Martinique Fisher.
And I like how he's stepping on a heart, or he's standing on a heart. And it looks like maybe that's a version of Wonder Woman in the lower right corner. Do you see that?
Yep. Yes, that's awesome.
And Wonder Woman, of course, is an incredible positive icon for rainbow.
This card is illustrated by Joanna Powell Colbert, and it's almost making me cry because I really love this card. It's the Three of Pentacles, and it's showing how important we all are to support, you know, our pride folks, you know, our gay people. Just, you know, family needs to stick together, and we're all family when it comes down to it.
And that's the overall thing about Three of Pentacles, is it really is about who you can work with, whether it's family or team members of any sort. Who is your supportive peeps?
The Four of Pentacles is illustrated by Joe Lee.
Looks like Fred Astaire.
Looks like maybe some Bitcoin in there. I don't know what those coins are.
Could be, but I'm wondering, is that supposed to be Fred Astaire sitting there? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's a new version of that guy from Monopoly game.
The Five of Pentacles, which definitely has, who is it by? Sorry.
Miriam E.G.
Just has that sense of not belonging anymore, moving on. You know, that there's been strife or conflict or just things that made you say, enough.
Sad and poignant.
The Six of Pentacles, illustrated by Shira Silver. I think we've had that artist
Shira
before.
Silver.
Yep.
And I love this because they almost seem like you know who those women are. They sort of seem like, I know who these women are. I don't, though, of course, but maybe I do. The epitome of just wonderful divas.
Okay, illustrated by Leonard Jim Marquiso again. The Seven of Pentacles, which you know is traditionally the farmer. And here we have a farmer-type person. And note that there's like a tree of life here. I think it's really beautiful.
So those may represent chakra energies or something of the sort. No, actually, they're zodiac signs.
Okay,
I can see now.
okay.
One's Jupiter, one's Saturn. I see Venus. So they're probably the 7 traditional planets in astrology before the modern era of discovering Pluto and Neptune or whatever. I like that too, though. I like the art quality on that one. They're holding a scythe on their little floating piece of land.
The Eight of Pentacles is illustrated by Rain Halar. And it just looks like the typical worker bee of the Eight of Pentacles.
Totally getting into their art. Pretty selfless.
The Nine of Pentacles definitely looks rich. Definitely looks like this person is like a diva. Ryan Edward.
Yes, and Ryan did another one or two here. And I like that. It's a nice...
Ten of Pentacles, illustrated by Dr. Frankie Dolan. And just looks a little subtle there, but it gives you that feeling of more, you know, eternity or legacy, things that are beyond the immediate. I don't know, when I look at that card, I sort
Is that like a Monet or Van Gogh quality, that
maybe,
sort of diffused quality in the art?
The Page of Pentacles is illustrated by Rain Halar. The Knight of Pentacles is interesting to me because it's illustrated by Stanley Morrison, and it looks like this person is on a combined seahorse unicorn kind of thing here.
So, sort of a full sense of fantasy there too, and you know, why not when you're doing, you know, a Rainbow Pride tarot? You know, it is about the fantasy in a way, so why not? It is beautiful. I love those colors.
I like this one too, which is nice in its own way. The Queen of Pentacles, illustrated by Hannah Fofana.
We had another one by Fofana, and I like that too.
And the King of Pentacles is just surrounded by wealth here, illustrated by Helena Nelson Reed. That's our final card.
There that is.
Wow.
Totally beautiful deck.
Totally beautiful deck. Now, you know and I understand sometimes that these decks do not appeal to some people. When I say these decks, I'm not talking about, you know, subject matter. What I am talking about is decks that are maybe done by collaborative works, because sometimes they may feel disjointed. You can't connect, like, you know, things together. But I have to say, this is so beautiful, and it combines so much talent. And I really do like the diversity of the types of art I see here. So I would highly recommend it also because of the subject matter itself.
I think that sometimes, over the last so many years, a lot of new tarot decks tend to have maybe more of a novelty sense about them because maybe they deal with specific subjects and or other features about them.
Right.
But I don't think that should necessarily declaim from their ability to be used successfully as an oracle. And I would like people to feel comfortable enough to say, would you use your Pride Tarot when I ask this question?
Yeah, that would be absolutely okay. And, rightfully so. And, a lot of people now with their decks are adding in extra male or female cards for those that, are seeking same-sex relationships. So I think we've made a lot of progress. Certainly more needs to be done. And the one thing about this deck being a collaborative deck, isn't it just basically what this is all about? The diversity, the cultural diversity that we should learn, we should just accept because it's a part of the richness of life.
Sounds like we're going to have a Pride reading event. We could.
Who can say? And maybe that will come in upcoming Junes in the future. That's a good point. We could make that a June event.
Mm-hmm. We have enough decks to satisfy.
Well, you do. When I was thinking about it, I thought,
too.
Do I? I don't think I have a Pride deck.
You don't have one, but you have a deck or two where you can alternate the lovers cards to represent same-sex couples.
It is
or
true
things like
that I have some like that. And I think the only thing that comes close is maybe some of my more feminocentric decks, which are very inclusive in their own right. The Hip Chick Tarot comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
But, so yeah, I'm sure we could pull it off. Absolutely. Hey, well, I'm sure we're going on and on here, but thanks everybody for spending time and watching this unboxing with us.
It was an important deck. We needed to spend some time with it, so we're really happy we were able to do this.
Want to wish all of our members of the LGBTQ+,
you know what we mean.
community, seriously, a happy Pride Month. Be proud. Take care, everybody. We will see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.